Guys, thank you very much for coming back to my little studio. In this video, I'd like to share with you how to draw staircases in the urban space or urban setting, in the public space, or in what you can normally see in the city, where the staircase connected to the lower ground space into the upper layer of the city. How to draw them in hand drawings, and the simplest way and simple tricks to draw, and I hope you enjoy it. And the reason why I decided to draw this open space is because it's getting cold now in London. The weather is getting cold and the rain is falling almost every day. And of course, I miss the outdoor. I miss the living, sitting in outside, enjoying the sunshine, the warm weather. But we are at the end of this summertime. We are reaching the beginning of autumn. We see the rain, the leaf falling to the ground. And for that reason, I decided to draw the open space that I miss living outside. I hope you enjoy, and I hope it was worthwhile sharing, and thank you very much, and do click the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Hi guys, thank you very much for coming back to my little studio. In this video, I'd like to share with you how to draw stairs on an urban space, open space, communal space. The typical kind of open space staircases that you see in the city. And in this video, I'd like to show you the techniques, the simplest techniques, how to draw them in the simplest way without the vanishing point. As always, started with the cubic shapes. This is the best way of doing it, is always using the cubic shape, starting with the vertical line. As you see now, I'm doing the diagonal lines to show as a reference of this, how the shape with as the reference of the vanishing points within itself, without reference of the conventional vanishing points. So what I'm doing now is starting with the front facade of these cubes, and of course project it at the back using vertical and diagonal lines to indicate the shape of this building as a virtual three-dimensional cube shape form, just like this. Now that I have this cubic shape, I'm going to start very fine thin line, then of course then add another layer of lines to make it much more clear, and of course the same process, crossing the front side of this facade of this, using a cross line to find the center point. There's a mistake there, but the mistake is fine, it's normal. I start again, just reference like that. Now that is the center line, just using the vertical line as to identify, to mark where exactly the central points of these objects, these cubes, in perspective. Using basic line is more of it's not mathematics, more of a geometry. So this is the beauty of geometry, using this geometry line to work with perspective drawing as an alternative of vanishing points without the conventional vanishing points. Right, now I have find the center point of the front at the back, and then divide them into two. One is going to be the solid, another one is going to be the open space. So again, on this side, I'm going to create another cross line on this side to find the center point, like this. Now I find the central line, I mark the end of that to this, see? There. That center point, to divide that into half, the height in terms of height. And from divide into half, I divide into half again, just like this. The reason why I do this is to find the height of stairs. From front to the back, it goes up. So in this exercise, I need to be very careful, because the side on the right here, what I'm marking now, will be the mirror on the side in the center. Starting with this, it will be identical, but obviously in perspective, it looks like different angle, but identical in a sense. The same amount of horizontal line I'm going to add will be equal to what is on the facade on the outside here on the right. Starting with the middle, of course, in the middle of that facade, just like this. Starting with 8, 4, 8, 16. Now, before the lines are hidden in multi-layers of lines, I mark it so I could see them clearly before they got lost or hidden each other. So of course the same process to this one. Find the central lines. This make it easy to do. And of course it can't go wrong because it's always in the center and center there. Do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on top. Then another one, because I'm going to make them to 16 stairs, 16 line. Just there. I don't have to go all to the ends because the end is going to be solid. Another one there. Another line all the way there. The same. Find the central line. Again, at this stage is about adding reference lines, informations as possible, as clear as possible with fine line. I'm using this 0.0 millimeter nib pen, micron pen, the same I used in my previous drawings. Just like this. I had a recent comment saying that my line was quite straight, but it's not always straight. It takes years of training, and of course you can see my line now. There's some mistakes also, but it's normal to make a mistake. You can't really make perfect straight line. My advice would be just be gentle with your pen, and because when there is a mistake, you can always add another layer of line again to correct it. Because try not to use eraser. The best way not to use eraser, just keep practicing. The mistake is bound to happen, but we learn from mistakes. Just like in life, we may learn from mistakes. Now that I complete that on the center of that facade, I'm going to, on the right side here, repeat the same thing. Identical, that mirroring the other side. Just like that. You see the mistake again I did here? So I need to change the angle of my hand to adjust. And of course there, I need to be careful because it's overlapping the line on the other side there. So this stage is very important to be very attentive, because sometimes line can get confused, lost under each other. Great, now done it. So now the next one is I'm going to find the center of this facade. Again, starting with the cross lines, because I'm going to divide into 3 faces, because one is lower, one is the landing, and of course another repeat to go up. You will see what I meant by that. Now, first thing, I'm going to find the center of this facade, so I can divide them into 3 sections, 3 faces, just like this. First, find the center point. There you go. Here is the center line, using the cross line, where the cross line met the center. Now, adding this upside down shape of the inward shape of V shape, like this. Right, now that lines cross another cross lines, cross each other, that will be the one face. Second one, there. So I have 3 faces. 3 faces there. Now I already have the central line in this way on the facade anyway, so I just cross that vertical line to divide them to 3 to be identical to what I did on that the center facade, just like this. There you go. Great. This make it simple because I already have I did the center line already. Now this is the first facade as a reference there, first facade there, first line, the second and third, just like this. Now I'm going to divide them, and I think I'm going to put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stairs there, 5 lines. And then to do that, the purpose of that 3 phases was to, the second one would be the landing. The first one is the rising, but start with the diagonal lines, like just like this. So repeat the same like this, where 5 horizontal lines, and it reached that first vertical line, which is going to be the landing. And of course the third ones like that, another rising from the second landing, horizontal landing like this, and the same rising, identical to using the same five stairs as the first one, like that. So horizontal, diagonals, first one rising to the first section, horizontal for landing, stair landing, then another diagonal line again, just like that. So wherever the horizontal line crossed with the diagonal line, that will be the stairs, just like this. Then I draw a vertical line, and of course repeat with this, and just watch that. These will be identical to the one in the center. 1, 2, the third one, 4, and the fifth one. The fifth one will be the landing. And of course start again. 6, 7, 8 there, 9, and the last one, 10, just like that. And of course identical on the other side there. Just like this. Right. So now it's about to connect them together wherever the identical line shape made to be connected with this horizontal line. So like that. Landing, the edge of that stairs, meet, and that second one there. The same process. Of course, you can do this kind of drawing easily, quicker, using 3D drawing, such as the best is, I would say, SketchUp. I use SketchUp, or you can use it with AutoCAD. But this exercise, hand drawing exercise, is for those who prefer using hand drawings. And after all, hand drawing is, you draw with a soul, you draw with feeling. And drawing with 3D software, you draw for mass produce, quick result.
Where's Archie?
But this exercise to draw with a soul is a much more therapeutic exercise, I would say, for those who like drawings. And some people prefer to use hand drawing rather than using software. So this exercise is for those who like to draw by hands. Now you see, start to see the stairs now. Since this line are all connected, and of course I'm going to add more a line on that thicker, using the going and rising on the stairs to accentuate the shape of the stairs. Now there, another one on this side also, just like that, just to add more lines in it to make it clear and visible, just like that. It is important to draw with a very fine line. Do not press the pen. I do not press my pen too hard, and rather add layer multiple time on top of the lines, so you get thicker rather than just trying to be quick and end up drawing the wrong lines. Such small drawing like this, it is important to be really gentle with your lines, because small mistake could distort the shape of the building or the shape of the drawing, or it could change the way it looks away from it meant to be. As it is go further there, there's another, the same, basically that further there is the same what it is at the front here, identical, symmetrical, but different views as it is perspective drawings. But simply connect that line to the other rising of that stairs, just like that. There. So this drawing make it so much easier, simple, without using the conventional vanishing points. The vanishing point exists within itself, starting with the cubic shape, just like that, just like this now. So here it is. This is typical of the staircase in urban setting, between buildings, in open space, just like this. This is optional. I do it for myself, so to make it obvious, to make it clear, I just add again and again, repeat my line the same until it become clear, so that the multi-line that I did could gradually disappear in the actual drawing, the actual object that I draw. Those lines then become just a references. There. Now I'm going to repeat on this side, so that drawing will be in context rather than just empty blank facade. Of course, using the center point, find the center of this blank face, starting with the middle, then just like that. The same center line again. Repeat. This is what the drawing is about. The simplest way is always the best. Methodical in drawing is the best, so that everyone can do it. See, being methodical. And another one there. There too, beginning to look like the object of the drawing, the subject of this drawing has become clearer, and the layers of the drawing references beginning to recede, disappear in this object. And of course, I like to add more of this layer to indicate from line as a vanishing point and references, a perspective references into material, to indicate the material of this structure. Of course, the intention is to create a brick wall, brick structure, just like this. Repeat the same process. Find the line in the center. And I like to add a bit of a line underneath the rising, the going stairs, usually a overhang above the rising of the stairs. It's slightly thicker, maybe about 50 mil in reality. just a outline of it rather than just sharp one line stairs. And of course there. So the next process is to add a bit of a hatch on this drawing, as I have all the information I need. Now it's about hatching it to indicate where the shadow is. And again, on this exercise, I like to assume the light is coming from the left side, and it will of course indicate the shadow of this object toward the right side of the buildings. For now, I'm going to hatch under the stairs, under this rise and goings. This is optional, because this exercise about how to draw stairs in urban space in the city or small towns between buildings. But for now, I like to bring these stairs more of a imposive rather than just a line drawings. As you go further, I don't want to add too many detail on that in terms of outline line on these stairs, because it's getting less visible compared to the one in front. For now, I'll start with the dark side of it. And this side is much darker, I would say, because the light coming from the left. Starting with the horizontal hatch, just like this. For now, I'm not going to use cross yet. So as you can see, as I add the thicker line hatching, provide where the shadows are, the lines I did initially as a reference of this vanishing perspective, as opposed to vanishing point, beginning to disappear in the object, and the stairs become imposive, becomes visible, and the line references beginning to disappear. There's the tricks. There's the tricks of having this very fine line to begin with. And of course, I'm going to add another shade there as well, shading this part by doing the vertical lines first. Starting with, very simply add a gap in between them before I add again another layer in between to make it much more dense, much thicker, much darker. Just like this. Just a word of advice. The question is, how could there be vertical lines like this? It is always important to use this vertical line as the first vertical line I did when I started at the beginning. As you can see, there's a cubic shape of that vertical line. That as a reference to make it parallel to that first line. That's the secret. That's the trick. This trick basically. Now, add the second layer. Just fill the gap in between of these vertical lines, just like this. Again, the reason why I like to repeat it multiple times, 2 eyes, 3 times, 4 times even, or even more to make it much darker, is because this kind of drawing, it is important to have it clear and it is easy to understand. Try to be methodical, because it is a sketch drawings, but this exercise is about sharing the tricks, so it is easy for learners to learn as well. If you do it for yourself, you can do however you like it. In this video is about sharing the tricks, so it is easy to understand for learners out there. That's why I rather do it multiple time, adding more layers, stay back, look back, and what need added, I need to add again. So now the next one is to indicate where the shadow of this structure on the stairs. So usually it's slightly like this, horizontal, in diagonal shapes. I reduce this, I assume the light is not coming perfectly in line, it's more of a in diagonal, an isometric shape, I would say. So the shadow also would be the same kind of shape too. Again, I would say I wouldn't press my pen nib too hard on this. And always a time to add more when if needed later on. I think I need to add more again layer on the stairs to make it clear. At the end there as well. So seeing it get darker on the stairs, I need to make the side of this facade also much darker too, to balance it. To balance it with that shadow of that building on the stairs. Otherwise look isn't right. And of course, if I make it darker, much darker there, I also make it much darker on the other side to make it the same rhythm, the same cohesive, basically. Just like this. It's always good to have a sense of feeling, of understanding where exposed and enclosed, basically, when it comes to drawings. When it comes to create the shadow or the light, to define the light and dark in a building, in a drawings, it is good to have a sense of understanding of exposed and enclosed, and to make it look more reasonable, more realistic. It is to have a greater understanding where they are in rhythm, basically. The shadow, if it's much darker on the right side, everything has to be darker on the right side too, because the light, because it cannot contradict each other, basically. And of course, I'm going to add more to make it much darker there. For now, I'm going to add more rather than just a dark and horizontal line. I think I like to try another thing now. I'm going to add the details of this building material, the bricks, and to add a bit of the detail of the bricks. And I like to zoom in to make it closer, so it's visible to see shit like this. I love brick material. I love brick buildings. Like this. And the other side too. The brick in detail is quite simple, just understanding of how bricks are laid on the building wall. So here is my bricks retaining wall or brick wall. And I'll leave it at the end there, just give a layer, just because it's too far, the line is quite small. So now what I'm doing is to add slightly line in these two slightly, so it's not too bright, to give a bit of texture, textility of this material. And add, of course, now I'm going to make it darker by doing the cross hatch over on top of the vertical hatch. That is, repeat the same. And of course a bit more here too on the stairs itself. So here it is, staircase. How to draw staircase in open space in urban setting in the city communal space. Thank you very much for watching, and please click the subscribe button and like and share, and see you again in the next video. Thank you very much.